been unable to achieve certain positions. And I do believe it's related to that, because certainly my skills are of the top level. I'm a PhD. I have many degrees in the teaching field. And although I had all these skills and my rapport with the people involved was very positive, I felt that it may have been related to age.
I was being interviewed by two people, a man and a woman, and they were very nice. The interview went fine, and I just noticed, I could feel it, and I could see it in their faces, that there was an ageism preference. So I wasn't surprised when I didn't hear from them, and then I noticed that they hadn't found anybody they liked, and they reopened the position, and I still didn't get a call. What's interesting about discrimination is that I notice people trying to be subtle with it. They're trying to be polite and subtle, and when you're on the other end, experiencing ageism is not subtle at all. And I can't really pinpoint what it is, but I just know that I pick it up immediately. And if I can pick it up, I'm sure others do as well.
And they replaced me with a younger individual. Before they closed the state hospitals in Southern California, I had been a special ed teacher for the better part of 30 years and had loved my work.
And I started the job search probably 6 months before we left, and still continuing it. So this is about 2.5 years later.
If I remember correctly, he just got a notice. He just came home, he was sick to his stomach. He didn't, like, now what do I do? And they could have set him, behind a desk because he had so much information to give. So I think that they lose a lot when they do that with people like Bruce or anybody that's had a job and been with the company and loved what he did. Just wasn't nice.
The job that I held the longest since coming to the Bay Area was working at a firm that unfortunately had to lay off the staff because of the economic downturn.
So, working over the years in a number of tech companies, it's always been the same. The majority of the people have been very young. So those of us who are older, we were different and treated differently. I felt that strongly, even though there's nothing you could actually put your finger on. Nobody said you're old. It's a very subtle thing.
Well, there is discrimination in age, If you go out to the job and you say a certain age, or you're too old.
As a result of a downsize, which is a very common thing in the marketplace right now, I find myself looking for work for 2.5 years. I do a lot of consulting on the side, which has added to my skills. And as a result of going to a lot of job fairs, I have met some very caring individuals, 3 women, 1 man. These are the friendships that keep you going when you're definitely going through some stress with trying to find a job when you're in midlife.
And I go in there for an administrative assistant position to a senior VP of marketing, which I did at the nonprofit. They sat me down and they said, oh, you know what? The position was just filled because I was so impressed with your resume that I had to meet you. And I said to myself, why would I come all the way here just so you can tell me that? Because you go for a lot of interviews and they want your ideas.
New management decided that they were going to cut back on the size of the building. They were going to move out of Rockefeller Center down to another smaller building. And they decided that they would get rid of everybody over 50 years old in the IT department because that's who was let go. One person had 37 years with the company and was 2 years short of retirement, and he was asked to leave. So packages were minimal. Maybe they discount the value of older people. I remember when I was young, when I was in the Army, especially when I was 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, I'd say, oh yeah, he's an older sergeant, he's 33. And you looked at him as the old guy, and he probably had 15 years in the Army. Wow. I kind of fashioned myself on a lot of those people too. I kind of took them as a role model. But I think that in business, maybe it's not looked on that way. Maybe it's the prevailing attitude, only youth knows what they're doing. Only youth can keep up with modern things.
I came to singing fairly late in life, and I got very, very good, and I couldn't get any parts because even the old crones in opera are played by young women. So I put together this group, Senior Artist Singing Society, Inc., and we go around singing, and there are a lot of people like us who have very good voices, and looking for venues. So I decided to do things on ageism because that would be a good chance for old people to sing. And I got very involved in it because it became very important to me because I'm very angry. It makes me very angry. I mean, we are old, yes, and there are certain things that are concomitant upon being old, but basically we're very viable and very alive, and we're here.